What can you say about a Ferrari that you haven't already imagined or heard? But today we have a 2001 Ferrari 360 Spider in the very rare color of Tour de France blue. Even more rare, I think, because I haven't seen them, is it's Tour de France blue on blue on blue. Now, the interior is a very dark blue. It's almost gray, and some parts are gray. But it is, I believe it is known as the blue interior. But here she is. God, look at it. Gorgeous. I mean, it's a Ferrari. It just evokes so much passion in pretty much everyone. The other day, I was pulling out of a garage, and an old lady stopped and stared me down like I was a piece of meat or something. But, you know, she was probably looking at the car, not me. But anyway, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, it's a Ferrari. Everybody is intrigued and just mystified by Ferraris. And rightfully so, I get it. But with that comes a lot of attention. This car brings a lot of attention. And there are Ferraris, I know, there are Ferraris that are far more rare or exotic or superior in performance than the 360. But I don't care. What I'm talking about is when it comes to a Ferrari, pretty much any Ferrari, you are going to attract a ton of attention. For better or for worse. If that's your gig, then this is your gig. But everywhere you go, this thing just attracts people. Because why wouldn't it? Look at it. It's a work of art. It's amazing. It's a Pininfarina design, okay, with a 3.6 liter V8 producing over 400 horsepower in this one, I believe, because this is a Euro model. And the US models, I believe, produce 395 horsepower. And see, we got a guy staring us down over there. But the Euro ones had a little bit more power. And I believe, not a whole lot, but I think they're over 400. This one is also featuring a aftermarket exhaust, which I'll show you in a moment, from Becker Performance. And we've still got this guy staring us down. I mean, it's just, what can you say? It's a Ferrari. Everybody stares at you. So, performance exhaust from Becker Performance. This thing is loud, guys. I mean, it sounds like you're starting up an F1 car. It's really, really neat. And it's a thrilling, exhilarating experience when you gun this thing down the highway. Not saying that I've done that. Of course I have. But how could you not when you're driving a Ferrari? I know. Ferrari. But they're just so cool. They're so neat. Let's take a look at the inside on this one. This one only has 17,000 miles, 17,300. And here we go with the leather seats. You get this gorgeous Italian leather, of course. You get your little Ferrari flags there. This one is an SMG transmission. I'm sorry. That's my Beamer head talking. This is an F1 transmission. Forgive me. F1 transmission. Which, you know, you either hate them or you love them. I've always been a fan of sequential gearboxes like the SMG and the BMWs or the F1 and this Ferrari. You know, I've also had a Maserati Grand Sport that had this, essentially the exact same transmission as this. And I like them. Gorgeous interior. This simple, I love this simple steering wheel. It looks like a steering wheel out of a 1980s F1 car. I mean, it's just perfect for performance. You get your buttons over here, a little sport button, fog lights, some traction control. And look at these gorgeous gauges, man. It's just so cool. That huge tachometer showing 10,000 RPM, but it redlines at 8,500. Speedometer of up to 220 miles per hour. It's just really neat to look at. Get your automatic climate control. This one comes with an aftermarket Alpine CD player. I have it in the glove box because I just don't think it's aesthetically pleasing for the video, but you know, it's a good little sound system. The heart of it all. An absolute work of art. We're going to take a look at that here in just a moment. Tremendous condition on this one, guys. Obviously, I mean, it's only got 17,000 miles. I apologize for the glare. Get your 360 Spider badge there. Your Ferrari World Champion 2000 badge. That is so cool. And of course, this one does have an automatic feature. I mean, all of them do. But it's actually quite nice. It works quite well, in my opinion. All right, let's take a look at what powers this beauty. What propels her down the road or down the racetrack. Oh, what a work of art. Look at that. God. Here's your Becker Performance exhaust. This thing is really cool. Sounds tremendous. About 7,500 Ferrari 360 Spiders were produced. And they did weigh a little bit more than the Modena. They weigh about 130 pounds more. But quite frankly, that's not bad considering a convertible. You know, that's a pretty good number there. 130 pounds ain't bad to get your open air experience. You get your gorgeous wheels here that, you know, I don't know if they're called this or not, but to me they remind me of a Ninja Star, so I call them the Ninja Stars. And of course, being that it is a Ferrari, you know, they gotta go all out and give you 2 brake calipers in the rear. Well, the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's take her for a spin. I'm gonna leave the door open when I fire this baby up too, so you guys can hear it. And you know, surprisingly, being that it's, you know, an exotic car and low to the ground and completely sport oriented, it's actually very comfortable. It's not hard to get in and out of. It's actually a treat to drive, not just because of, you know, the sound and the experience and all that, but it's actually quite comfy. Wow. We're not going to drive with the top down today. You know, it's a little too much for me. You know, people are constantly gawking at you, and here I am with a camera in my hand too, so I look even more, you know, I don't even know what to say. I'm gonna attract some eyes, and I don't really want that right now. I just want to film the video and focus on this. Let's go. So of course, SMG. There we go into first gear. Let's get the hell out of here. said, it's just a treat to drive. It's not too low. The suspension is not jarring. You know, I'm very surprised at how well-mannered this car is on the road. That sound is just, it's so seducing. Oh my God. You know, I'm a pretty private guy, so I'm not into the whole attention grabbing thing. If there were no other human beings on this planet, I would drive a Ferrari every single day. Goodness gracious, man. This car just evokes so much passion out of you. It's just tremendous. Good Lord. Man. Ugh. And you know, the Ferrari 360 was a really special car for Ferrari. This is what, in my opinion, kind of ushered Ferrari into the modern era. You know, it replaced the F355, which still had the very angular, chiseled features that they had, you know, on the Testarossa and stuff from the 80s, which were, of course, very pretty. But this is what brought Ferrari back to the curves, the seducing curves, the gorgeous flowing lines that they had been famous for in the 60s and stuff. And this kind of brought them back to that, which is a design language that they still use today. I mean, they're kind of going back to the angular thing again, but they're still keeping some of those curves there. And this is kind of what started that all. Or brought it back, rather. This car is also what popularized the F1 transmission. Now, I know, I'm aware that the F1 transmission was available in the F355, but it was not popular in that car. The majority of Ferrari 360s were produced with an F1 transmission, if I'm not mistaken. And this is kind of what introduced the world at large to the sequential transmissions. After this, BMW, and yes, I know, BMW already had that. It was available in the E36 M3 in Europe. I know. But I'm talking about being in popular fashion. And it was after this that, you know, BMW really took the SMG to a much larger scale with the E60 M5 and the M6 and stuff like that. And the M3, I'm sorry, the E46 M3. So this is interesting because this comes from that era when there was a lot of revolutionary things happening in the automotive world, such as the sequential transmissions. Just a wonderfully well-mannered vehicle, considering the extreme performance that it provides. Most people will never even get the opportunity to drive a Ferrari in their life. Some may never even get the opportunity to just sit in one. This one, of course, is for sale. You can jump on our website, pricklypearautoclub.com, to check it out further. And we're going to pull off here in just a moment and give one last look, as we always do, and then say goodbye. What a treat this thing is to drive. I had, like I mentioned earlier, I had a road's always dirty. Let's go over here. I had a 2005 Maserati Grand Sport years ago, which was heavily based off of the Ferrari F430. So, you know, very similar to this car. And, you know, they're really interesting to drive, as you would imagine. They're pleasant. They're not overly aggressive like you might think, at least not, you know, these older ones. I don't have a lot of experience with the brand new Ferraris, but let's pull her in over here. And to go into neutral, of course, you have to pull both paddles in. Have it, guys. Oh wow, I forgot to take off our smiley. There you have it. 2001 Ferrari 360 Spider, Tour de France blue with blue top and blue interior. Just a special little gem here, guys. If you're interested in this car, jump on our website, pricklypearautoclub.com, and you know, as always, I'd appreciate a subscribe or engage in a conversation with me. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time.